All right, let's just dive right in. Something really huge has changed in the way your customers are looking for things online. They're not just typing keywords into Google anymore. They're asking full questions. And this changes literally everything about how your brand gets discovered.
So this is the big question for any business right now, isn't it? In this brand new world of AI search, are people still seeing you? Because, and this is the important part, the old rules for getting found online are becoming obsolete fast. And look, the data here shows this absolutely staggering disconnect. What we're seeing is only a 10% overlap between what ranks at the top of Google and what AI assistants like ChatGPT actually use as a source. Just let that sink in for a second. To put it another way, 90% of all that effort, all the time, all the money you've poured into traditional SEO, yeah, it might get you on the first page of Google, but it's making you completely invisible in the one place your customers are starting to go for answers. So how in the world did we even get here? Well, that brings us to this new search landscape. It's a massive shift in how we behave, and it's all powered by new tech. People aren't just searching anymore. They're having conversations. They're asking these AI assistants really complex questions, just like they'd ask a person. And in this new world, the brand that gets cited in that AI answer, well, that's the brand that wins the click, wins the trust, and at the end of the day, wins the sale. And this gets us to the very heart of the problem. It's the reason for that 90% gap we just saw. It's really a tale of two different worlds. Classic SEO versus this new approach called GEO. The key thing to understand is that these are two totally different games. Traditional SEO, that's all built for web crawlers. It's about signals like PageRank and backlinks. But this new thing, Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO, that's built for large language models. And it couldn't care less about your backlinks. It ranks your content based on semantic relevance, basically how well your stuff truly answers the question, using tech like retrieval augmented generation to find that perfect match. So what exactly is GEO? Well, it's the specific process of making sure your brand and your content are the things an AI model chooses to use when it puts together an answer. It's not about ranking on a results page anymore. It's about becoming the answer itself. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain a little bit. If you want to win at GEO, you really have to understand how these AI models think and how they decide which sources they can trust. Now, here's something a lot of people get wrong. Models like ChatGPT don't just Google your question when you ask it. Nope. They follow a very specific, multi-step pipeline to find, filter, and piece together information before they even think about writing a response. And here's what that pipeline looks like. First, the AI takes your question and basically explodes it into 80 to 100 different micro searches. Then, from all those results, it filters everything down to maybe 15 of what it thinks are the best URLs. After that, it scrapes the content from those pages and breaks it all up into smaller chunks. And finally, and this is the most critical part, it ranks every single one of those chunks based on how relevant it is to your original question. The chunks that rank the highest are what it uses to build the answer you see. Okay, so that's the how. Now let's talk about the what. What do you actually do about all this? And that brings us to the GEO strategy. A really smart GEO strategy doesn't just put all its eggs in one basket. It's about increasing your chances of getting cited at every single step of that pipeline we just walked through. That means optimizing your own website and content for sure, but it also means getting your name out there on trusted third-party sites so you show up in that initial search blast and actually make it through the filtering stage. And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory, right? It's a real playbook. There's a structured 6-week process that can take a brand from basically zero to hero. You start with setup and analysis, then you move right into execution, and then you're quickly monitoring your visibility and planning what's next. It's all about making this big idea a concrete, doable plan. So, what does this actually get you? What kind of results are we talking about? Well, for a brand that's starting at, say, 5% visibility for the questions they care about, a focused 6-week push can get that number up over 20%. That is a 4 times increase in the chance that an AI recommends you to a potential customer. All of this leads to one really critical question. What's the rush? Why is this something you need to be thinking about like yesterday? Look, I know what you're probably thinking. We just don't have the team for this. And that's always a major concern. But a good GEO partner is going to handle almost all of the heavy lifting, the research, the strategy, the execution. Your team's role can be as simple as reviewing and publishing content.
It's designed to be a super light lift on your end. And this timeline really shows why the time to act is now. Today, the field is still wide open. You can establish your brand as a trusted authority for these AI models. But a year from now, your competitors are going to be in the game. And 2 years from now, well, just like with Google, once an AI decides who it trusts, it becomes incredibly difficult to knock those top brands off their perch. The window of opportunity is right now. So we'll just leave you with this one thought to chew on. Every day, your customers are asking AI for solutions to the exact problems that you solve. The only question left is, when they ask, will your brand be the one giving them the answer?